Well, it looks like uh, my work thing was rescheduled until Friday. So that's gonna give me a great opportunity to do a little surprise reading of something that I've been wanting to start. Although I have read it myself, we're gonna go ahead and start reading this text. Again, just another perspective shift, right? The yoga, I actually didn't finish reading all the way. But we'll get into that later. But let's go ahead and start with Beyond Birth and Death. The first time I read this was actually on an airplane. And if anybody has ever experienced airplane reading, it's so fun. It's so fun because you're so high up. You don't get a lot of interference. And we all know how that goes. I mean, if you have experienced it before, it's a good time, and you feel good when you do your airplane readings, right? They're so nice. But this is a great text, and we're gonna go ahead and get into it. And again, it's just another perspective, and hopefully we can find some similarities and differences to see. And let's get into it. We're gonna just read the first little introduction here. And I have my pencil here. I'll try to notate some things as well and start transcription, but it's not necessarily necessary right now. But what we are looking for is that time frame. Remember that I talked about. So when I find it, I'll make sure to point it out because it's very, very intense. It's an intense number. So, is there life after death? Which most Christians and Muslims believe this is true, right? And many others. India's most renowned Vedic authority presents startling evidence of the soul's incredible journey after death. His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, tells how the soul travels from body to body and how we can end the cycle of birth and death by reaching the ultimate abode. So, what of course a lot of Christians and Islamic people preach is reaching that ultimate abode, and then lots of Buddhists and Hindus recall this cycle of reincarnation over and over again until that ultimate abode is reached. But they're just with anything, there's one end goal, right? Okay. This is a great, great book. Lots of information. This is more informational than it gives you a lot of insight than most religious texts. Okay, so chapter 1, We Are Not These Bodies. And I'm going to go ahead and read the Hindi parts as well. It just each chapter starts out with a Hindi. Oh, you know what? Actually, they go on. I'm going to read the Hindi parts as well, okay? Dehi nityam avatyoyam dihi sarvasta partha tasmat sarvani putanyatyavam sotitam arasi. So then there's a translation. O descendant of Bharta, he who dwells in the body is eternal and can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any creature. And this is true. Okay. And it goes on. And then these Hindi texts are from the Bhagavad Gita, okay? So, on the first step in self-realization is realizing one's identity as separate from the body. I am not this body, but I am spirit soul, is an essential realization for anyone who wants to transcend death and enter into the spiritual world beyond. It is not simply a matter of saying, I am not this body, but of actually realizing it. This is not as simple as it may seem at first. Although we are not these bodies, but are pure consciousness. Somehow or other we have become encased with the bodily dress. If we actually want the happiness and independence that transcend death, we have to establish ourselves and remain in our constitutional position as pure consciousness. Living in the bodily conception, our idea of happiness is like that of a man in delirium. Some philosophers claim that this delirious condition of bodily identification should be cured by abstaining from all action. Because these material activities have been a source of distress for us, they claim that we should actually stop these activities. Their culmination of perfection is kind of like a Buddhist nirvana, in which no activities are performed. Buddha maintained that due to a combination of material elements, this body has come to existence, and that somehow or other, if these material elements are separated or dismantled, the cause of suffering is removed. If the tax collectors give us too much difficulty because we happen to possess a large house, one simple solution is to destroy the house. However, Bhaktivedanta indicates that this material body is not all in all. Beyond this combination of material elements, there is spirit, and the symptom of the spirit is consciousness. Consciousness cannot be denied. A body without consciousness is a dead body. As soon as consciousness, that's true. All of it's true, but that's a good little. As soon as consciousness is removed from the body, the mouth will not speak and the eye will not see, nor the ears hear. A child can understand that. It is a fact of consciousness. It is the fact that consciousness is absolutely necessary for the animation of the body. What is consciousness? Just as heat or smoke are symptoms of the fire, so consciousness is a symptom of the soul. The energy of the soul or self is produced in the shape of consciousness. Indeed, consciousness proves that the soul is present. This is not only the philosophy of the Bhagavad Gita, but the conclusion of all Vedic literature. The impersonalist school of Sankarkara, as well as the Vaisnavas, following the disciplinic succession from the Lord Sri Krishna, acknowledge that the factual existence of the soul. But the Buddhist philosophers do not. The Buddhists contend that there is a certain stage the combination of matter produces consciousness. But this argument is refuted by the fact that although we may have all the constituents of matter at our disposal, we cannot produce consciousness from them. All the material elements may be present in a dead man, but we cannot revive that man to consciousness. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Okay, this is why I like to fast most times, because always things come up. If I consume anything, it's ridiculous. But sorry, excuse me. This body is not like a machine. When part of a machine breaks down, it can be replaced, and the machine will work again. But when the body breaks down and consciousness leaves the body, there is no possibility of replacing the broken part and rejuvenating the consciousness. The soul is different from the body, and as long as the soul is there, the body is animate. But there is no possibility of making the body animate in the absence of the soul. And this is true. And this you may think this contradicts with the idea of life can be breathed back. We can the dead can be risen again in the Christian perspective and the Islamic perspective. But this is essentially true. Once the body is gone, the body is gone. But it's the soul that can be reinserted into another body. So this is what they're talking about, right? Because we cannot perceive the soul by our gross senses, we deny it. Actually, there are so many things that are there which we cannot see. We cannot see the air, radio waves, or sound, nor can we perceive minute bacteria with our blunt senses, but this does not mean that they are not there. By the aid of the microscope and other instruments, many things can be perceived which had previously been denied by the imperfect senses. Just because the soul, which is atomic in size, has not been perceived yet by senses or instruments, we should not conclude that it is not there. It can, however, be perceived by its symptoms and effects. In Bhaktivedanta Gita, Sri Krishna points out that all of our miseries are due to false identification with the body. Matra sparsas tu kontia sitonsna sukha dukkha da agamampino nijas tams tikisyava sparta. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of heat and cold, happiness and distress, and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from a sense perception. O scion of Bharta, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. That's true. So it's almost like happiness and distress is perceived, right? Just like we perceive heat and cold, summer and winter, happiness and distress is perceived. They're perceived emotions, right? Okay. In the summertime, we may feel pleasure from contact with water, but in the winter, we may shun that very water because it is too cold. In either case, the water is the same, but we perceive it as pleasant or painful due to its contact with the body. All feelings of distress and happiness are due to the body. Under certain conditions, the body and mind feel happiness and distress. Factually, we are hankering after happiness, for the soul's constitutional position is that of happiness. The soul is part and parcel of the Supreme Being, who is Saksid, Ananda, Vigraha, and the embodiment of knowledge, bliss, and eternity. Indeed, the very name Krishna, which is non-sectarian, means the greatest pleasure. And I got lost. The greatest pleasure. Krish means greatest, and Na means pleasure. Krishna is the epitome of pleasure, and being a part and parcel of him, we hanker for pleasure. A drop of ocean water has all the properties of the ocean itself, and we, although minute particles of the Supreme Whole, have the same energetic properties of the Supreme. The atomic soul, although is so small, is moving the entire body to act in so many wonderful ways. In the world, we see so many cities, highways, bridges, great buildings, monuments, and great civilizations. But who has done all of this? It is all done by the minute spirit spark within the body. If such wonderful things can be performed by the minute spirit spark, we cannot begin to imagine what can be accomplished by the Supreme Spirit Whole. The natural hankering of the minute spirit spark is for the qualities of the whole: knowledge, bliss, and eternality. But these hankerings are being frustrated due to the material body. The information on how to attain the soul's desire is given in the Bhaktivedanta Gita. At present, we are trying to attain eternity, bliss, and knowledge by means of an imperfect instrument. Actually, our progress towards these goals is being blocked by the material body. Therefore, we have come to the realization of our existence beyond the body. Theoretical knowledge that we are not these bodies will not do. We have to keep ourselves always separate. We have to keep ourselves always separate as masters of the body, not as servants. If we know how to drive a car well, it will give us good service. But if we do not know how, we will be in danger. The body is composed of senses, and the senses are always hungry after their objects. The eyes see a beautiful person and tell us, oh, there is a beautiful girl, a beautiful boy, let's go see. The ears are telling us, oh, there's very nice music, let us go hear it. The tongue is saying, oh, there's a very nice restaurant with palatable dishes, let's go, let us go. In this way, senses are dragging us down from one place to another, and because of this, we are perplexed. Okay. And this is where I will stop. Ian has finished his notes and reading as well, and we will continue on. I'll keep note of this. Thank you all for listening. Have a great, great day. Enjoy yourselves.